We all know it, you can't avoid it, and it is little scraps. The sewing room is full of little scraps with no shape at all sometimes, and the minimum you can use it for is to fill in cushions, and if not, maybe when you have something in particular to do, a little project, you can use these scraps for this. I have a whole tub full of them. I don't think I'll ever use them all, but today I have 3 little projects to do for here, for the sewing room. Last week when I did the rollable sewing mat, I had a few pieces of felt left, and I want to make a little basket for the memory cards and the batteries for the camera, because I'm afraid of losing them. Last year I came in and I put it on the table, and then I started tidying up and I almost lost it. Since then I always put it over there on the shelf, but I'm still afraid of it dropping and, I don't know, losing it, because they are really little. So I need something to put them in. And to make this really easy basket, what I'm going to do is to pinch the corners. And once I've pinched them, I'm going to measure, for example, 2.5 centimeters to sew it there. So the 2.5 centimeters, or the measurement you wanted it to be, is going to be the depth of the basket. So take that into account. And this is it, first project in under 2 minutes. Of course, you can do this a bit more complicated, you can quilt it, you can make it with different fabrics and interface it to make it stronger, depending on what you're going to put inside. I really like this idea because it's just simple and I don't need anything else, but you can put bias tape on the edge or even make it the other way round and put the corners in, like so. The next project is going to be a sort of coaster or mat to protect the vintage sewing machine when I want to put a pot on top of it so I don't scratch the boot. So for that I'm going to use a bit of this yellow material I have left from a dress and a cactus one, and in between I'm going to put some rickrack ribbon, which is lovely. The measurement is going to be a plate, so I'm going to trace my mat from a plate, and from that I'm going to press everything first because iron it because it looks a bit wrinkly, and then start basting my rickrack on one of the sides. I don't like basting that much, but I think it's necessary because if not, this is going to be like a sandwich, one on top of the other. So if I don't do that and make sure it stays in place, it will move and it will be a mess. So it's worth basting. The rickrack ribbon won't be too difficult to sew because just if you sew right in the middle, you'll get the waves on both sides. So I'm going to do that. So right in the middle, all the way around, so I can then add the other layer on top, right sides together. And I'm going to sew again on the seam I just did on the side of the cactus one, because if I do it on the other side, I won't see where I'm going and it won't be as neat. And leaving a little bit open, I can turn it right side out and sew this little bit by hand, just picking a bit of the rickrack and a bit of the yellow so it stays in place. And this is it. It's quite simple, it's fun, and you can do it in any color you like or add any trimming you want to. I really like this yellow bit because it looks like a fried egg with a massive yolk, or even a daisy with really short petals. On to the next one. And my last project, it's a cover for my tissue box. I have all of these all around the house because I have allergies and it's really useful to have them nearby. You don't really need it because nowadays the boxes are nice, they decorate it, so it's not necessary, but I saw it and I thought it was fun to do. And I have these pieces of material, they are the same from a dress I did in yellow and in turquoise, so I think it's going to be nice. I'm going to do the short sides on the yellow one because I have not enough for the longer one, and the longer sides on the turquoise. And in order to trace it a bit easier, I'm going to do it with some tracing paper, and that way I won't have any problem after that. Once the pieces are cut, you just need to sew the sides and up the diagonal bit to join them all together. and when you try it on, you can see if you can hem it or if you need to cut something. I didn't, so I just hem it, and I'm going to add, I just have this little bit left, a piece of bias tape on the whole top, on the top hole, and that's it. Let me see. Of course, this material, it's just a cotton and it's a bit flimsy, but you can quilt it, you can make it with a thicker material, anything you like. So that's it. Quite simple to do. And these have been the 3 little projects with scraps for this Monday. I hope you've enjoyed it and you found it useful. Let me know down in the comments what will you use the basket for example, or the little mat as well. And don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here and you like this kind of content, or if you're starting to sew, because we have lots of good ideas and you can, I'm sure you'll find them useful as well. And I leave you here a link to other scraps video you can have a look at, because they're ideal for yourself to give as presents or even to sell. So stick around for a while. Bye!